Hello everyone, our topic for today is about teacher as curriculum leaders. So in this chapter, you will discuss the key roles of teacher leaders in curriculum processes, discuss the importance of teachers as curriculum leaders in planning and evaluating instruction, discuss the roles of teachers as curriculum leaders in the K-12 education program, and identify ways to develop teacher leaders in curriculum.
Key roles of teachers as leaders in curriculum processes. Teachers play an important role in almost all activities related to curriculum processes. They are the chief implementers of the curriculum as they are directly involved in the teaching and learning process. Teachers are curriculum leaders in education system. Teachers are the resource provider, instructional specialists, curriculum specialists, classroom supporter, learning facilitator, a mentor, school leader, and also a learner. The following are the A to Z roles and functions of teachers as curriculum leaders in their own schools, district, division, or regional level. A. Advocate positive curricular reforms to ensure quality of education. Having a positive curricular form is beneficial to the students because they are receiving high quality education, to the teacher because they have molded the students by teaching quality education, and to the school because it is providing high quality education. B. Broaden understanding of the teaching and learning process. As a teacher, don't just stick with what you are used to. You must upgrade, improve, and broaden your understanding of teaching and learning. With this kind of technique, you can ensure effective teaching. C. Conduct research to enhance curriculum content and improve teaching and learning. So, in order to improve teaching and learning, you must first enhance the curriculum content. How can you enhance it? By conducting research, of course. You can find solutions to particular problems arising in your classroom or school. With this, you can gain an understanding of how you can handle those problems and get positive solution if they rise again. D. Develop appropriate curriculum for students. After knowing the solution to a particular problem in the curriculum, you can now develop an appropriate curriculum for students. E. Evaluate curriculum materials and the implementation of the curriculum. Of course, it is very important to evaluate. It is necessary for both teachers and students to determine the extent to which their current curricular program and its implementation have produced positive and curricularly suitable outcomes for students. F. Facilitate activities to ensure public understanding of every single curriculum reform. That's right. As I said, the teachers are the curriculum specialists. So as a curriculum specialist, they are responsible for facilitating. G. Gather important data needed for curriculum planning. You can just go and create curriculum without gathering the data first. You must base your curriculum on the data that you gathered because it is the guide that will help you create an effective curriculum for your students. With this, you can know what to change, what to improve, and what to remove. H. Harness community resources in curriculum development. In order to implement the curriculum properly, make sure that all resources are available because community resources can be essential in helping students and teachers access assistance and expand the range of outlets of support to meet their needs. Letter I, innovate curriculum and instruction. As a teacher, you must develop new methods of teaching and curricular content. Letter J, justify the need to innovate, evaluate, and develop curriculum. Teacher must ensure the knowledge that is gained by learners is useful and powerful. Letter K. Know every learner needs, issues, and interests. Get familiar with the needs, concerns, and interests of each students. How can be how can the curriculum effective and your teaching if you are not familiar with your students? L. Lobby congressional support for bills that are needed for curriculum reforms. Make an effort to sway congressional support for the necessary laws that would overhaul the curricula. M. Manage curriculum implementation and curriculum change. It helps to make the curriculum relevant to the needs of the learner and the society as whole, and nurture creativity and critical thinking in the curriculum. By conducting activities like brainstorming sessions, we can nurture those creativity thinking and the critical thinking. O. Orient teachers, students, parents, and other stakeholders on the new curriculum. Conduct an orientation on the new curriculum for students, teachers, and parents, as well as any other stakeholders so that they know what is happening on the daily basis or the what we are teaching. Letter P, provide updated knowledge on the subject they teach. Of course, how can the curriculum be effective if what we are teaching is outdated, and how can we um, be on par on other states if we are providing a outdated cue. Qualify acceptable curriculum ideas and theories. Here, determine which educational concepts and theories are acceptable. R. Reflect on different researches that influence the curriculum. Consider the variety of studies that have played a role in the development of the curriculum. S. Select appropriate instructional strategies, methods, and appropriate. That's right. Choose the instructional strategies, methods, and approaches that are most appropriate. Letter T, train teachers who will implement the curriculum. Of course, they are the one who will teach. That's why they must be trained. Letter U, understand application of social issues and social changes in the curriculum. Yes, for example, those who live in a remote area, we must first understand and adjust the curriculum based on their surroundings or where are they living. V, validate the contents of the curriculum. Con- Confirm the accuracy of the lessons in the curriculum. W, win support from stakeholders and government on needed curriculum. That's right. Stakeholders, they are the one who will invest in your curriculum. Of course, having many stakeholders is a big point, and the government also because they are the one who will approve your curriculum. Shing or crossing out bureaucratic barriers to curriculum implementation. Of course, we must cross out those barriers because that barriers is a barriers that the curriculum may be become not more effective because in order to the curriculum to be effective, dapat wala tayong barriers. Yearn for quality education through a relevant and responsive curriculum. Of course, sino ba ka namang maayaw ng quality education, di ba? Long for an excellent education that is provided through a curriculum that is both relevant and sensitive. Letter Z, zero out irrelevant and erroneous curriculum contents and materials. Get rid of all the curricular materials and informations that are pointless and incorrect.
Teachers as curriculum leaders in instructional planning process. Instructional leadership is always associated with school administrators, particularly school principals. According to Olivia 2005 and Ornstein and Hankins 1993, define curriculum to include instruction. Accordingly, curriculum and instruction are inseparable. According to Mac-Ewan 2003, pointed out that instructional leaders must be knowledgeable about learning theory, effective instruction, and curriculum, which we recognize as the power within the educational force. So in this category, the curriculum leaders is directly involved in the design and implementation of curriculum, instruction, and assessment practices. Curriculum and instruction are related to each other and inseparable, so hindi mo sila pwedeng paghiwalayin. Instructional leadership as one of the functions of curriculum leaders may need to do the following functions: supervise the implementation of curriculum and academic standards, promote a school culture and climate conducive to teaching and learning, communicate the philosophy, vision, and mission of the school, train teachers and school staff. Lead in the development or purchase of instructional materials, prepare the school budget for instruction, observe classes of teachers, check assessment tools, for example, exams and authentic assessment. According to Racer and Dick 1996, develop an instructional planning model that presents a very logical sequence of instructional planning. The model also puts emphasis on the development of assessment tools after identifying the objectives of the lesson. This will ensure that proper assessment tools aligned with the objectives of the lesson will be utilized to assess students' learning. So, here naman po ay pinapakita ang mga dapat gawin ng mga instructional leaders to emphasize and to ensure how they can support, teach, and monitor their students. So we have here the analyze content. So first, we need to identify instructional goals. Next, to identify objectives. And nakapaloob po dito yung analyze learners' characteristic. Up to develop assessment tools. Next, to plan instructional activities. Next, choose instructional, and then instruction, then revise instruction, then mag-uulit na naman po tayo hanggang sa ma-attain natin yung instructional goals natin to analyze the content. So, the figure 23, Racer and Dick's instructional planning model instruction in Racer's Dick model includes the following instructional procedures. First is the motivation, presentation of objectives, recalling prerequisite skills and knowledge, presentation of information and examples, practice and feedback, summary, and assessment. So according to Racer and Dick's instructional planning model, there are 7 instructional procedures which is presented. So it provides guidelines to organize appropriate pedagogical scenarios to achieve instructional goals.
Teachers as curriculum leaders in evaluating instruction. Curriculum leaders also evaluate instruction. Teachers must implement the planned curriculum. It guarantees that students learn curricular standard and competencies. Instructional evaluation measures curriculum implementation. So, teachers is a curriculum leaders, even curriculum feels like stressful task considering the time and focus it takes. However, they manage their time to make instructional materials creative and trying their best to make the standards curriculum outcomes of students. Those strategies and implementation measure the capability as a curriculum leaders. So those instruction we're going to use should follow this following procedure I will going to display. First, planning for evaluation. A. Develop the purposes and objectives of the evaluation. Before planning an evaluation, we should first develop our goal and objectives in teaching where we should meet this at the end of the lesson, followed by determine the data and other information needed. As an indicator, we should gather data and other information in textbooks or Google as reference for sources to support our evaluation. Siyempre, just get those information needed not to make our evaluation exaggerated. And we should set timeline for evaluation. So in planning for the evaluation, we should set a duration to manage our time and to monitor students whether the evaluation are completed within the timeline of calendar. Number 2, determine instructional evaluation design. Just like in doing curriculum evaluation, in instructional evaluation, the teachers will need to describe the following. A. Types of information needed for evaluation, such as their names, skills, capability, talents, to identify what kind of instruction we're going to use. B. We should also have a lot of sources in the information we gathered. C. Those procedure and methods we're going to use is necessary to organize what we have collected about needed information. And D. Making sure that those methods in collecting info needed should be analyzed and tabularized. 3. Develop instruction evaluation instrument. A. Class observation guide. B. Checklist. C. Questionnaires. D. Survey forms. E. Interview guide. 4. Collect data. The teachers will collect all gathered necessary data needed for the instructional evaluation. A. Focus group discussion. B. Interview with the students and teachers. C. Actual class observation. D. Examining samples of students' output. E. Examining assessment tools used in the class. F. Checking the facilities and other instructional materials. Checking for the lesson plans. H. Interview with principals and supervisors. 5. Analyze data. The teachers will analyze the data gathered and interpret results. 6. Report findings or the result of the instructional evaluation. And during the actual observation of classes, instructional evaluation could focus on the following aspects. First, appropriateness of the activities and strategies to the students and to the topic. Active participation of students in performing learning tasks, usefulness of instructional materials in meeting the desired objectives of the lesson, conductiveness of classroom environment for learning. Last, pedagogical content knowledge or PCK level of teachers.
Teachers as curriculum leaders in the K-12 education reform. Teacher empowerment is at the heart of K-12 education, with all the reforms and innovation in the K-12 education program. The K-12 program, it covers kindergarten and 12 years basic education, 6 years of primary education or elementary grades, 4 years of junior high school, and 2 years of senior high school or SHS. Teachers need to view themselves as curriculum leaders performing the following function. It leads efforts to modify or improve school-wide or content area curriculum and guide other teachers in collecting, understanding, analyzing, and interpreting student achievement data, as well as using those findings to improve instructional efficacy in a subject area or throughout school. The following functions are: ensure effective implementation of curriculum standards and competency, develop and evaluate curriculum materials that are appropriate for the students, develop assessment and evaluation tools to assess learning, plan and evaluate curriculum, plan activities that will help implement the curriculum, solicit support from parents and other stakeholders, make curricular decisions at the school level, conduct research to improve learning and improve the content. Since the K-12 curriculum is a standards-based curriculum reform, all teachers are compelled to focus their attention on the following. There are 3. Number 1, clarity of the standards. Teachers should know the essential standards that every student should learn in the curriculum. These standards are contents, skills, and values or attitudes that students need to learn and master. So, this nakapasok po yung values and attitude, yung pag-uugali ng isang estudyante na kailangan nating ma-master. Number 2, visibility of performance measure. Teachers need to ensure that each curriculum standard show visible outcome or performance. Number 3, consistency of communication. It is teacher should effectively communicate the standards to all students. Kailangan dyan po is na magkakasalubong yung standards para magkaroon ng effective communicate sa mga estudyante.
My report is all about letter A, teachers as curriculum leaders in preschool. The Kindergarten School Act, Republic Act 10157, integrates kindergarten into the formal education system. Before 2011 and 2012, kindergarten was not a requirement for grade 1. It was a privilege for students whose parents could afford it. It was optional. All 5 years old must now attend kindergarten. Grade 1 requires a kindergarten diploma. The Department of Education issued a curriculum to be implemented by kindergarten schools in the country. This curriculum includes several domains that need to be developed among young children. Number 1 is a values education, physical, health and motor development, social and emotional development, and cognitive development. In these teachers as curriculum leaders in preschool, from now on, curriculum kindergarten is very important because it places where children develop their abilities, talents, and skills from their earliest age. And it also provides experiences for children to grow and develop through play and interaction. From kindergarten, it is a starting of their development in their values education, sensory perceptual motor development, understanding of the physical and natural environment, understanding of the social environment, and language literacy and communication. Letter B is a teachers as curriculum leaders in the elementary grades. Teachers as curriculum leaders in elementary level are starting to mold the minds and character of the future leaders and citizens of the world. Their role as curriculum leaders requires them to develop curriculum that will facilitate the development of the mind, body, and character of the student. In this curriculum, the role of teacher is to help students develop an engaged relationship with content. In elementary grades, it also to explore of developing their knowledge skills and talents and discover their critical thinking skills. Letter C is a teachers as curriculum leaders in junior high school. The junior high school program of K-12 includes grade 7 to grade 10. Of the secondary level, it is the entry point of students to the rigors of various disciplines in the areas of science, social science, mathematics, humanities, and applied disciplines, such as homes, economics, and vocational technology. It is a crucial point in their development to help prepare them for high school and set them up for success in life. Letter D is a teachers as curriculum leaders in senior high school. The senior high school program is 2-year education program added to the 10 years of basic education in the Philippines. In senior high school, students will choose their own track from academic track, technical and vocational track, and arts and sports track. The academic track has 4 specializations: humanities and social science, business, STEM, and general academic. And it also provides the basic knowledge and skills necessary for success in college and the workplace. It also developing and preparing the learners for their future job that they will choose. The senior high school teachers will need to develop and implement lessons that are learner-centered, inclusive, and developmentally appropriate, relevant, responsive, and research-based, culture-sensitive, and contextualized and global. Pedagogical approaches that are constructivist, inquiry-based, reflective, collaborative, and integrative. Thank you po.
Teachers as curriculum leaders of 21st century learning. The 21st century is marked with various changes and challenges brought by forces like globalization, changing individual and social value system, economic situation, political issues, cultural diversity factors, massive influx of information technology, environmental issues, and the increasing amount of information made available to the public. These factors demand that education must innovate and reshape itself to meet the needs and challenges of the people and the society. We have a very hard curriculum and a lot of teachers get frustrated with what is going on. But there is always people and teachers who will help you to get through. Teachers who possesses a high degree of technological pedagogical content knowledge were the teachers as the curriculum leaders of the 21st century. Learning has changes from the old ways of teaching because in the 21st century learning, the technology exists due to the globalization, so the internet and gadgets exist where it is a tool to access another information. Middlewood and Burton as of 2001 noted that the 21st century teaching and learning would need a complete new paradigm of learning. This new paradigm of learning focuses on developing critical thinking, creativity, communication skills, and collaboration. We need to change or need a new set of paradigm in learning because it will enhance the skills not just by the students but also to the teacher. And today that we are now in 21st century teaching and learning, skills must also be updated. How the students think critically, how they think creatively, and how they communicate and collaborate with others. Law and Glover as of 2001 also identified new features of education focusing on learning how to learn, learning as a process or a journey, learning as a lifelong process, and teachers as a learner. Learning to learn. When teachers master a new concept and wanted the best to study hard where they guide their students to direct direct their learning and know how they learn best without having or relying on the textbooks as the main source of information and knowledge. Learning as a process or a journey. Learning is like a journey because learning will never be a destination. It is a journey because we never stop in acquiring knowledge. We always discover something, or we always trying to achieve something. Learning as a lifelong process. Learning is a process of acquiring new knowledge, understanding, behavior, skills, values, attitudes, and preference. Teacher as a learner. Teacher as a learner is a process. In teaching and learning process, hindi lang learner ang natututo. Bagkus ang teacher din ay natututo sa kanilang mga estudyante. There are several developments which have significantly influenced curriculum development and teaching and learning in the 21st century. Number one, increasing discoveries on how the human brain works, idea of learning styles and thinking preferences, ICT integration in education, and development of learning organizations. One of the challenges of the 21st century learning to curriculum leaders is to develop habits of mind among the learners. Costa and Kalik, as of 2009, identified the following habits of mind. Number one, be independent thinkers. Think before they act. Being independent thinkers need to develop or train the students to be independent with their thoughts before they act. Next is be more self-motivated, be more inquisitive, pay attention to detail and take pride in work, be more diligent and persistent, enjoy working through the work, think for themselves, not always follow another's lead, generate their own thoughts, be self-directed, use strategies of problem solving, transfer knowledge and apply to new situations, have confidence and be able to take risks, support answers so that they can show evidence of their thinking, and communicate with each other, work it out together.
Exercising curriculum leadership in selecting textbook and other instructional materials. In 2015, the Department of Education developed a framework for developing and selecting textbook and other instructional materials. The framework prescribed that all textbook and instructional materials are: first is to align to the K-12 curriculum. The textbook and other instructional materials should follow the curriculum standards and competencies prescribed by the K-12 curriculum. Next is contain expert system of knowledge. Authors that expert in their field should write the textbook and other instructional materials. It is also important that the content of the instructional materials are accurate and up to date. So it is a must that the expert should write a timely and relevant in the curriculum. Next is have provision for differentiated instruction. It is important to provide activities and assessment strategies that are relevant to the learning styles and thinking preferences of the learners. The needs of slow learners and fast learners should also be considered. Next is provision for reflective thinking. The instructional materials and textbooks should engage the learners to develop deeper understanding of the lessons, develop critical and creative thinking, and encourage reflective thinking. Last is provision for parental and community involvement. The textbook and instructional materials should encourage parental and community involvement. This means that service learning, real-life integration, and parental support are encouraged.
Developing teachers as a curriculum leaders. There are few important factors that need to be considered in the developing of teacher as a curriculum leader. First is teacher empowerment. Teacher need to be empowered to make important decisions, solve problems, take action, and innovate in their own schools and classes. As a teacher, we need to be empowered because our profession is to share knowledge to the student, also to mold them as a successful student someday. That's why we need to take actional aspect of problem and innovate our schools and classes. The second one is efficient system. Teachers need to work in an efficient working environment. They need to be a part of system that is collaborate, professional, and effective. Teacher also need to be connected in the learning environment because this is a part of our profession and also it is help us to grow more as a teacher. Third one is mentoring system. Teacher, especially neophyte. When we say neophyte, teacher beginner, teacher need to mentoring from effective and model mentor. The fourth one is administrative support. At any level, teacher will need full support from the administration, especially when they want to innovate or develop good program for the school and their student. The last one is learning community. Teachers must experience to work in all learning community where all behave as professional, avoiding any forms of professional jealousies and free from insecurities. Teacher need to learn from and share best curricular and instructional practice to each other. And these are the important factor of how to be a great teacher as a curriculum leader. As a teacher, we need to train and develop our skills and mind because teacher is all know as a flexible person. That's why we need to train, develop our skills and mind to grow as an individual and to share these things to the student. Now, let's proceed to the reflection on teachers as a curriculum leader. Teachers are considered curriculum and instructional leaders in various levels of education. As a curriculum leader, they perform different roles and functions that are essential in planning, designing, development, implementation, and evaluation of the curriculum. First one is they provide the technical support in curriculum planning. Second, they design curriculum from basic education to the higher education. Third, they help develop the curriculum content and activities including assessment tools. Fourth, they implement the curriculum in various capacities as administrators or as a classroom teachers. The fifth one, they have evaluation the curriculum. Six, they introduce curriculum innovation. For instructional leadership is one of the functions of teacher as a curriculum leader. First, supervise the implementation of curriculum and academic standard. Second, promote a school culture and climate conducive to teaching and learning. Third, communicate the philosophy, vision, and mission of the school. The fourth, train teacher and school staff, lead in the development or purchase of instructional materials, prepare the school budget for instruction. Also observe classes of teachers. The last one, check assessment tools or exam and authentic assessment. These are the reflection of teacher as a curriculum leaders.
And that's it for our session for today. We hope that you learned a lot and thank you for listening.